Okay, so if you guys didn't catch my other video, I just went over how I track. Again, just in case you didn't see it, it's literally down to the day, what is for. I don't know if you can see this. It's not my greatest thing, but yeah. Date, where, what it was exactly for, the exact cost. I do believe that you should track everything down to the penny. If you're really trying to get like an understanding and get a budget, they say to do a budget first 3 months of, you should track for the first 3 months. For us, we just happened to lock up and start this year at the beginning of 2024 to ensure that we are going to have the best thing for our buck going from March forward. Hopefully we can kind of get an idea, because this is kind of like not a realistic budget either. This is just like kind of like a winter budget. You know, everything's a little bit more expensive, but like it's still like kind of idea a little bit. We didn't have a lot of food. I mean, we had a lot of food. We ate. But we didn't have a lot of going out to eat. A lot of stuff was in-house. We did have like a lot of stuff, but like I kind of messed up. Like I was going to the grocery store pretty much daily getting food, just because like sometimes people have food for 2 weeks and won't eat it. It'll go bad. So I'm gonna just start trying to buy food for maybe like every 3-4 days instead of every day, and just kind of see how that works. Because like when I was doing it for 2 weeks, for like a whole week, it was going bad. We weren't eating it. We forgot about it. We were eating out, stuff like that. Or I might, God forbid, mess up the dang on recipe. Done that multiple times. Stuff of that nature. One other thing too I'm going to say is, with a spending tracker, it is not easy. It is dedicated. Some people use Excel sheets. I know we keep receipts as well. They're downstairs. I'm not going to grab them receipts right now, Jesus. But I recommend that when you're starting your tracker, to track. You don't have to do it like mine. Mine is detailed. Mine is to the day. Like, there's apps and stuff you're able to use. You don't have to go through and be like, oh, well, on the 14th of January, I spent this. If you don't want to, I do it. To me, it's a discipline, because it's also showing me how much am I really spending in a day. It's showing me, like, how much do I really need to survive. It's showing a lot of discipline for me, too. Like, and it's kind of keeping me humble. Like, hey, I know I can't spend too much, you know, stuff like that. But, like, it's keeping me where I was like, dang, like, I could get a water bottle. I got a whole water thing over here. I gotta get a new one, and I'll tell you about that later. But like, I have to get a new water holder, because pretty much the one that I have, child, it don't keep no ice. Like, I could put ice in there, and in 10 minutes the ice is melting. I'm just like, that was the point of me buying a thermostat. Okay, so I have to get a new thermostat, which is totally fine. Probably get one tomorrow. Another thing, this is how I was able to save debt, like get out of debt. And because this is how I was able to get out of debt, I'm out of debt now. The next hardest thing when you get out of debt, for me at least, is saving again. Because like, you're so used to getting out of debt, and like now you don't have, like, for me, I got out of my credit card, so I have no more credit cards. I will always say this, I have no credit card debt. I do not own a credit card. My last video showed like, hey, I had a little overdraft situation happening, and I'm like, literally, it was just because I made a purchase. I thought the money was in the account. Oops. Did it kill me? No. I still had savings. You know what I'm saying? Like, it didn't kill me. It was just like, oh, I just had to put the money back in there. I was like, oh, shoot. Like, whatever. Oopsie-doo. Life happens. But, and it wasn't even like I had to, like, make no phone calls. Like, literally, I just moved out my other checking account. Like, it was simple. Like, it wasn't detrimental to me at all. It was just like, oh, I thought, and it was like, oh, it hit. You know what I'm saying? It was just like one of the things where I was like, all right, cool. Ain't nobody tripping. I wasn't tripping. And then that was just it. It was just like, you know, just make sure that you pay attention to what you're spending. Make sure you track what you spend. You, like I said, you don't have to do this. Like, there's apps. Now what I wouldn't say do is just be like, oh, like, keep a mental note. It's good to keep a mental note, but there's so much stuff that you can think of. Like, I can think about 40,000 things I should be doing in between the day, tomorrow, this weekend. Like, I can think of 40,000 things that I'm literally about to do, including me waking up, going to sleep, everything. It's like, but I do recommend, like, writing it down. I feel like writing it down is discipline. Writing it down is key. If you're good at it, now if you're really good at like Excel, and like you strive in Excel, you can use every dollar, because I think Mint's going out of business right now, but if you can like find something that's going to help you track or budget, or like if your banks offer that, use that. But like I think the biggest thing for me anyway is to literally write it down, because one thing about it, like if you look at some of these purchases, like literally it's 1 or 2 purchases a day that's written out. It's just like this whole first 2 weeks of January was just like I need so much stuff, and I was trying to like track, and I was trying not to order a lot of food, and I ended up spending a lot of money on food, which was probably, honestly, compared to last year, not that much. In the first year, like I haven't been out, I haven't been doing anything. I've been going to the gym, give or take. It's a little cold right now. As soon as the weather gets back to like 25 degrees, I'm probably gonna start going back to the gym. But I need 25 at least. But that's just my recommendation, y'all. It's just like if you're trying to like learn how to budget and stuff, start off with writing your stuff down to the penny. I added my stuff up. Like as you see, there is some highlights on here. The highlighted stuff, like I used green for food, blue for gas, orange for school, pink for clothes. Then I have like this little weird color for gifts, because like I don't really use gifts a lot. I get a couple gifts. Like I told all my friends, and all my friends know this, like I am a gift giver. Like we are grown. I will come to dinner, I'm gonna tell you happy birthday, I'm gonna get you a card. It's gonna be real limited on the gifts because I'm grown and I'm poor. I know that about myself. But you know, and everybody understands, like we all know, like I told everybody, I said, look, Christmas is gonna come about February. It don't mean that I didn't think about you, but it's just like in February, like at Christmas, it wasn't, you know, it just wasn't my time. I don't care though. But that's just something you have to like know. You gotta let your friends know. All my friends was okay with that. I was like, that's cool, like, you know. But it, like I knew not to do anything crazy. Totally fine. So, that's what I'm saying with your spinning tractor. Like for me, like I said, color coordinated works for me, because when my stuff is color coordinated, I can be like, dang, green. I can look and be like, oh, I spent however much on food a month. Like that's crazy. Like, but that's just something I would think of. Like for me, like I'm looking at my food budget, and I'm like, I gotta trim that thing down by February. So like this pay period is gonna be a little different. I also did this per pay period instead of per month, because my pay period switch. So like right now, I did it this pay period. I'm going to probably whack my stuff in half. It's probably gonna get whacked in half, solely because I got other stuff to do. But that's just my recommendation. It's just like making sure like you start your budget off, but before you really get a good budget, like I said, before you get your foundation, make sure you do your tracker. Spinning tractor, spinning tractor, spinning tractor. Like I said, I'm good with doing it. If you're good with like taking your receipts, like sometimes you don't get receipts. Like there's some stuff on here where I just don't have a receipt. It's not I didn't spend the money, I just don't have a receipt. So like I have to make a subconscious note to go sign it off. And I have some stuff on here where it's food, cash, so I have to like really sign it off and make sure that everything's documented appropriately. I think that's it. I think that's all I want to talk to y'all about. Is just making sure that you guys document your stuff appropriately. For me, like I said, I use colors. Colors make sense in my head. I'm a little kid. Like I need to see the color. I need to know where my money is going. And then that's how we're gonna get the budget accordingly. And like I said, once you write down and see like how much, like for me, in 2 weeks I spent $443 on food. It was like food. I was like, I didn't order, and mind you, I didn't order out. Like I think I went to the restaurant maybe a couple times. Also, I don't have this broken down quite yet to going out to eat versus going grocery shopping. Like if you look at what I wrote down, I do have it set up. Like there's some stuff on here that says hot chocolate. It says hot chocolate, hot Cheetos, and it's at Medina. For me, I know that's, for me, I would put that in the eating out. But like right now, collectively, I'm cool with making this food, and then I can go back through and do a subsection as to what it is. Like for me, I got CVS, it's Doritos. I didn't just go in there and get Doritos though. Like I know I went and got Doritos because I got 2 bags of Doritos, but that's, for me, that would be a groceries. But I know that because I wrote it down. Okay. There's so much stuff that you can do with your budget. You can get it down. I do recommend that if you have a partner, or if you have someone that you hanging out with, and or whatever, and like if your partner is trying to get on board, talk to about your partner, husband, wife, girlfriend, boyfriend, I've had a lot of questions from people who see me and they have questions. I'm more than welcome to answer anything that I can possibly answer. And mind you, I am not financial. I'm not accounting. I have no type of degrees. I just know what works for me, getting out of debt. And I cleared up over $30,000 worth of debt in less than a year. Well, I'll go with less than a year and a half. I'll tell you more about that. Like, to me, that was rough. Like, but now it's just like I'm in a better place without debt. But I'm like, now the goal is to save. So like, I'm trying like to stop watching all the debt stuff. But like, that's it. It's just make sure you write your spending tracker down. Make sure that you're paying attention to what you're spending too. Like, there's some stuff. I'm also gonna say this too. Don't cheap on stuff. I'm gonna do another video about that. Don't just go cheap. I'm gonna make a video about that because I messed this stuff. But that's just my recommendation. Is just make sure that you write everything that you spend down. Is very important. That's why I keep repeating it. It's very important to write it down so you can see what you're spending. A spending tracker is definitely needed. If you're trying to pay off debt, if you're trying to get better at your, in general, get a budget. Some people are like, I don't care, I'm in debt, I just care about what I'm spending on. I'm spending too much. That's great. Get a spending tracker, see what you're spending money on. Can't be like, oops, I forgot I bought at $3.75 Coke because I was somewhere and I was thirsty and they had nothing cheaper. And you're not gonna drink Fanta. What, I don't know what you drink, but that's my recommendation. So that's it. All right, y'all have a great day.